Next item. Joseph was an old widower when he was espoused to the Blessed Virgin Mary. This idea is popular in the Eastern rites as they once drew heavily from the apocryphal books not contained in the Bible. According to the saints and mystics of our church, the Catholic Church, Joseph is said to have been no older than about 33, 34 years of age when he was espoused to Mary. However, in a lot of European art and in Eastern icons, he's depicted as an old man. The reason for the elderly Joseph portrayal was to protect the doctrine of the perpetual virginity of Mary by finding an explanation for those brothers and sisters of the Lord, such as those mentioned in Matthew 12:46. The apocryphal book known as the Proto-Evangelium of James, which was condemned by Pope Innocent I, states that Joseph was an elderly widower with 4 sons and 2 daughters, and died at the age of 111 years. However, most of the saints and mystics of our church agree that Joseph had no wife but Mary. Focusing on the physical and not on the spiritual, people could not envision this marriage as being without sexual intimacy unless there was some sort of physical barrier, such as the husband being too old to perform. But as Saint Josemaria Escriva tells us, I don't agree with the traditional image of Saint Joseph as an old man, even though it may have been prompted by a desire to emphasize the perpetual virginity of Mary. I see him as a strong young man in the prime of his life and work. You don't have to wait to be old or lifeless to practice the virtue of chastity. Purity comes from love, and the strength of youth is no obstacle for noble love. Joseph had a young heart and a young body when he married Our Lady. Anyone who cannot understand a love like that knows very little of the Christian meaning of chastity. And that's from Saint Josemaria Escriva, founder of Opus Dei. From the earliest days of the Church, the faithful fully believed that Our Lady was a perpetual virgin. Also, Church traditions fully support that though uncommon for men, Joseph made a vow of virginity as well. Saint Francis de Sales tells us, how exalted in this virtue of virginity must Joseph have been, who was destined by the Eternal Father to be the companion in virginity of Mary. Both had made a vow to preserve virginity for their entire lives, and it was the will of God to join them in the bond of a holy marriage.